Hello and welcome, I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. So let's take a look at Pandora First Contact. This is a game that just came out very recently. It was created by Proxy Studios and is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Alpha Centauri. Now keep in mind, I have never played Alpha Centauri, so I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But to me, I'm going to call this Civilization 4 in space, because that's basically what it is. And that's not, I'm not saying that in a way to take away from the quality of the game. I actually have enjoyed it so far, but it's Civilization 4 in space. That's what this game is. So let's just dive in and we'll start a new game, talk about some of the features for a bit. This is like a let's look at. It's not going to be a let's play. I just want to spend a little bit of time looking at this game and just talking about it a bit. So I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit. Actually, let's just turn the music down in general because games like this have a tendency to be difficult to balance. So we'll start a new game. So like most 4X games, you have multiple factions available. You've got random, of course, the Divine Ascension, you've got the Imperium. So, I mean, basically you've got like the offensive group, who have lots of morale, lots of, cheap unit costs. You've got the Imperium, who have better, like higher training, like quality troops. You've got the Noxium, obviously. Look at that face. You can just tell by looking at him. He's a traitor. More money. You've got some guy who looks like he's from Japan. Well, his name is Minister Yunzi or leader something. And they have increased production. They also have increased pollution. Exploitive free former. Interesting. Yep. Now, I think if you are familiar with Alpha Centauri, you'll know what formers are and all that. They modify the land. Think builder. If you've ever played Civilization, they're like builders. They improve the terrain. You've got the Terra Salvum, these are the nature freaks. You've got the Torgra, the researchers. Now you can also create your own or modify these with basic modding skills. You can just go in and edit the benefits and things. Of course, you can modify the size of the world, you can change the shape of the world, you can increase or decrease the difficulty. There's natives, think barbarians, again, if you're used to Civilization 4 or 5. This is how hostile they are, whether or not they're going to attack. And then the pacing of the game, again, notice how similar it just really feels like, again, Civ 5 or 4. But let's go ahead and pick out, say, I don't know. Let's just go random, because I don't want to pick. There's an advanced menu where you can change specific things, change individual AIs. You can even potentially, I believe, do teams, but I have not actually experimented with that. Actually, it looks like no. Maybe I'm crazy. Alright, so yeah, so we're just going to leave it like that. There's multiple types of victory. You could do economic, military research. Of course, the only one that's any good is military, because that's how I play games. But let's do random and start.
It is the year 2107 AD, and mankind has reached out to the stars. After decades of exploration, discovering nothing but dead rock, our quest for a second Earth has finally come to an end. A terrestrial planet in the Nashira system has become the symbol for humanity's hopes and dreams of a new paradise. The most powerful factions, distinct in their ideologies and beliefs, have sent expeditionary forces to stake their claim to this new world.
Got that lens flare. Right, so we're going to skip the rest of the intro here. All it shows is the drop ships leaving and then they all land.
The ecologic Terra Salvum. Reckless industries and the war for natural resources have bled out old Earth. Our once rich and abundant homeworld is nothing but a shadow of its former self. While other factions might be on a path to repeat the same mistakes again, you and your followers have respect for the environment and humanity, treating the planet and its children with the respect they deserve.
Right, so we picked the character that reminds me of that chick from the movie Brave, the orange hair, except maybe a little bit older with a shorter haircut. So we're the nature freaks. We gain 1 minerals from forests and fungus. We are frugal, so we gain +2 to habitat. We're sympathetic, lower alien aggression. Peaceful, less power when attacking. So you can also go further into the background. If you are a lore type person, you can read about the people and all kinds of backstory on each of the different types of characters. I typically care more about these types of numbers than the actual background. So let's talk about why I'm calling this Civ 4 in space. So it's not Civ 5 in space, right? Because Civ 5 was different than Civ 4. In Civ 5, they added in the restriction that you could no longer have more than one military unit on a tile. In Civ 4, you could stack. You had death stacks. Now this game is more similar to Civ 4 because of that reason. You can have infinite military units per tile. But it's very functionally similar to the way that civilization type games work. So up here in the corner we've got food. Sustains maximum population. Without food, your colonists will starve and die. 10 accumulated, and we're getting none per turn. We have minerals. They sustain production. 10 accumulated, none per turn. Again, I feel like that music may just be a little bit too loud. Very, nice. Nice, but let's turn that down a little bit. Research, science, basically. And then credits, or gold. Okay. Now, units cost maintenance, just like most 4X games. One of the main interesting mechanics that's different, and why you might consider playing this game, is that unlike Civilizations, or say Endless Space, or any of the other 4X type games, even go as far back as like Galactic Civilization 2, that kind of thing, they decided to pool all resources on a planet side, planet-wide size. So if you have 3 cities, you still have just shared resources. So there's specializations, much more specific. So this is an observatory. We have 2 units here. We've got a colonizer and a colonial trooper. So I haven't really experimented much. I don't really know if you're supposed to like travel around for a few turns or not, but we're just going to build a city here.
This city is what it is.
Yes, yes. And now here's our colonial trooper. And the colonial trooper has numbers and things. So if you're a number file like me, you'll like these things. So he's level 1. That's what that little icon there is saying. Rank 1 out of potential of 10. He has 2 combat power, 2 movement points, 2 sight range, 1 upkeep per turn. I kind of would like that little yellow thing to be there, because it'd be a little bit more clear what that symbol is. And he's at 100% overall health. Now, something that I had no experience with coming into this game is, in civilization type games, you have units, right? You just build a unit and that's the unit. And you upgrade it based on its experience with certain traits and things to make it specialized. In this game, leveling up your character, going from, say, level rank 1 to rank 2, just increases their power. That's it. Doesn't do anything else. There's no special traits or anything like that. Instead, you give them armor or devices or specific weapons. And you do that in the workshop, where you can take like pick up a colonial trooper, and then as you unlock technology, you can say, okay, well, I want you to use the lance gun, I want you to also use this other thing, I want you to wear this armor, and I want you to use this device. To me, probably just because I'm not familiar with it, I don't really like this, because you just spend so much time customizing your damn units instead of just building them. I guess once you have them set up, then you can go into the city, and then you can just, click it, and you can organize it, but I didn't like it very much. Well, let's go ahead and take our guy, and we'll send him over here into the hills, into the observation tower. So this allows you to see 1 extra tile. He has a default sight range of 2. The observation tower gives you an extra 1 sight, so we can see quite far away. Found a sunken ruin out there. Not really going to do anything with that for now. And next we'll go here. That's pretty much our turn. We've got to choose a research now. Now this is something that is pretty interesting. The research system in this game is actually randomized. So you can only see 2 levels ahead. It continues on, as you can see here, but it's a randomized research path. So each research unlocks future researches, but it's pretty random. So a lot of them are very militaristic. You've got weapon upgrades and things. The Infernal Pre-Igniter is going to allow us to use flamethrowers. Naval transportation, logistics, lets you build land units, have the land units go into water, and then also lets you build transport, heavy ship. I usually tend to look for things that improve things automatically, like the cultivation facility. So let's research that. Choose our production for the city. So let's probably want to build a former. Would be good. Former, again, think builder. Improves terrain, cannot attack. Or we could just make another colonizer, but no, let's build a former. Now over here, something that's different, again, and I'm just going to continue to compare heavily against Civ 4 or Civ 5. You have habitat, living space available to your population. A negative value indicates overpopulation reduces morale. So you have like a how big can the city get? Growth, the rate at which population increases or decreases. Once enough positive or negative growth has accumulated, a colonist is gained or lost. Starting at 8, every time your city grows, your borders expand. So we have just 1 per turn. So it's going to take 6 turns, and I haven't really found much of a way to influence the growth rate. Like take Civ 4, Civ 5, the higher your food count, the faster your cities grow, but that doesn't have anything to do with the growth rate. That just has to do with the food. So food is just this value that you have to have enough of, and if you don't, that's bad. So there's really no reason to try to like maximize food that I've seen so far. Minerals are kind of like production, but not really. Like minerals, so okay, so you get minerals, and then you turn your minerals into production. In order to do production, you have to have minerals. Research is fairly self-explanatory. You're researching things. Credits comes from taxation. You can also convert production into wealth. 1 production turns into 4 wealth, but keep in mind you're also spending 1 mineral to do that 1 production. So you're really spending 1 mineral, 1 production to create 4 credits. Morale, just based on your tax rate. Pollution affects how happy people are, affects morale. So now we have 1 person so far in this city. Apparently it's named it Smuts, which is kind of hilarious actually. And it's auto-assigned it to a scientist. Now we can click on that and change him to a worker, or change him to a miner, or change him to a farmer. Now, unlike Civ 5, where you have a tile, and that tile gets worked, with this game, each person works a specific type of thing. Like a farmer is going to work food. So notice how that one's slightly brighter than this one? Since I've got him set to farming, he's farming this coast tile. If I set him to mining, he's gone here, because this one provides 2 minerals. He hasn't gone to here, because that's only 1. Now, notice how that the food here is not highlighted, though. He's only working the minerals. He's not working both. He's not working the entire tile, just the minerals. Workers don't take up a slot on the map. Instead, what they do is they provide 2 base production, and they take the minerals and turn them into extra production per turn. Production per turn being what creates units or additional buildings within the thing. So if we wanted to power out the former, by having a worker, we could get it in 8 turns. Without the worker, it's going to take 16 turns. Scientists just convert. They don't cost anything. They don't cost production or minerals or anything like that. They just generate 2 extra research per turn. So I'm thinking probably maybe a worker makes sense. We have a negative on our minerals here, but that's okay. And we're ready to end the turn. So just end the turn. We'll go explore a bit. Forest take up 2 of your points, hills do not. Normally in like Civ 5, hills take up 2 points of movement and forest takes up all your movement. But for some reason in this game, hills don't matter. So that's as far as we can do this turn. We've discovered our first little friendly alien peoples here. These are Skites. They're rank 1, 2 power. They've already used up all their movement. They can see 2. We could kill them. You can see the combat chance there, victory chance 100%, efficiency 133%, estimated casualty 75%. So, yeah, sure, why not? Let's kill them. Die. Kill the local wildlife. Who likes them? So now we're down to 18% overall health, so let's go ahead and retreat back to base. Because, you know, we want to heal up. And by doing that, you know, we have a chance of gaining some extra rank. It does not seem to show like a cumulative experience level, but you know, I know that from killing that, they've gained some experience. They're closer to rank 2. This is a hive. Think barbarian camp. So we're going to want to kill that. Out of minerals. Oh no. So, right. So now we got to rebalance things. So we don't lose any production on the former, but I only have 1 mineral remaining and we're losing 2 per turn. So if I allow this turn to go, we're going to have some pretty inefficient turns happen. So instead, let's now switch him over to mining. so we can reaccumulate some minerals. That's going to slow the production of the former down just a little bit, but we can, alternate turns. Probably go 2 turns with him doing minerals, and then 2 turns with him doing production. And we're also 2 turns right there. You see that number there? 2 turns until growth. You can also see that by hovering here. I would say the interface, I think, is quite pretty, but it's also very, very small. It's very futuristic, which is kind of interesting to me. While we're at it, why don't we go ahead and mess around with some of the tax rate. Okay, this tax rate bar is not as clear to me as I would like, but we can mess with the tax rate to increase morale, lower our income. I've found really that it just kind of makes sense to just keep your morale as close to equal as possible, because it's you get a 5% bonus or malus depending on your morale. If you have 1 bonus morale, then you have a 5% increased production on science, research, everything. If you have a 5%, or sorry, a -1 morale, you have a 5% malus against all those things. So it's just so insignificant. I'd rather just keep the tax rate as high as possible, and so we're at 70% tax, and we'll go next turn. Now we're going to tell this guy to heal up. It's going to take him 5 turns to heal, so kind of a slow start. Maybe it was a mistake to attack that guy. Who knows? But let's do 1 more turn like that. Smuts. Jeez, that name is hilarious. So Smuts has grown. We now have 1 farmer. It auto-assigned the new citizen to population, to farming, which is fine. We don't really need to do that, though. Let's move him to working. And now, because we've got a miner and a worker, we're actually balanced on our mineral growth. So I'm actually going to do this. So we could power out maybe that former 1 extra turn earlier. And then we'll go back and then change him to that. Now we're equal. So it's still 2 more turns, unfortunately. And we just finished our research. We've got the ability now to build a cultivation facility. 25% increased food from farmers, plus 2 food per turn. This does cost 2 credits per turn to maintain and 32 production to build. So it's not free and it's not automatic. You have to add it. So next research we'll do, how about we look at let me get some hammerhead missile launcher. Let's get the infernal pre-igniter. And we're just 1 turn away from having our former. This guy's healing up. It's good. And there's our former. So we've got a former, we've got a colonial trooper. So the former, kind of like a Civ 5 builder or Civ 4 builder, can just be automated. And I usually find that just to be the simplest thing. But you could actually do it manually, but we'll just automate. So he's going to go there, and he's apparently building a mine in the observatory. So he's going to take out all the ground underneath the observatory and make it collapse. Wow, look at that thing. Oh my god, it's so big. Holy crap, it's a Leviathan. 16 power, very dangerous. It's huge, too. It looks awesome. But yeah, so choose production. Let's go ahead and build a cultivation facility now. And looks like this balance will work out just fine. We're not losing food, we're not losing minerals. We aren't making very much research. But we don't really need the research that much. I just want a big old Leviathan. He's a big bad boy. Surprisingly, it doesn't move very far. That or perhaps the ocean costs quite a bit to move through. Now, if you want to check out information on things, you can go to features, and then you go to ocean, and you can check out what the stats are on each type of terrain, that kind of stuff. Okay, how's our guy doing? He's at 100%. Excellent. Let's go explore again. Okay, what are you up to now? He's clearing the forest. Alright, that's fine. Smuts has grown again. So it puts someone on farm duty. I don't think I'm fine with losing food for a few turns. Let's go ahead and get another miner going. Maybe even a scientist. At the top of the screen we can see the progress on research, so let's see if... See, because we have the observatory, we get a 50% bonus to research, so instead of providing us with just 2 research per turn like he's supposed to, he's actually providing an extra 1. So, sure, we started with that thing, might as well. Alright, so we've discovered a hive. Notice how there's lots of things we just discovered here. That's because there's 3 units here. There's a Xenomorph Drone, Xenomorph Queen, Xenomorph Spitter. So, it's an artillery weapon, meaning it's, it's a ranged unit. Double range splash attack. No enemy retaliation, no gain from armor when attacking. Damage proportionally lower with enemy missing health when attacking. So, we don't really want to take this thing out, and of course we can't with just this one unit, but we can go and explore these ruins, which are, haha, like Civ 5, ruins. Surprising. I mean, they didn't even call it something different, just a ruin. So we discovered a ruin.
Nothing pleasanter than to...
We gained 1 Xenomorph drones, so we just gained a random combat unit. So, very similar to what we discovered there. We also found an isogen field, which provides quite a bit of minerals, so we might want to expand to that location at some point. For now, let's just kind of explore over this way. So there is a big bad Galith, 8 military power. Probably don't want to bother him anytime soon. The former is currently working on clearing the forest. It's going to take him a little while longer. It takes 3 turns per job on the current game settings that I'm using. Alright, so how close growth rate has increased, but the actual requisite amount has gone up too. Yeah, I feel fine with this. 3 more turns so we have a cultivation facility. New weapon discovered. We got the Hellfire, the flamethrower weapon usable by troopers, plus 50% power versus biological units, minus 50% power versus mechanical units, and minus 25% power versus airborne units. But there's an overall increase of 25% combat strength and 25% increased cost. So let's go to the workshop. Let's play around with this a little bit. Okay, so it says that it's usable by troopers. That's it. So we could say, like, colonizer, can't put a weapon on there. Former, can't put a weapon on there. Colonial trooper, let's go ahead and put the Hellfire flamethrower. Notice how his little icon actually changes. Increases his combat strength to 2.5, up from 2. But it also increases his cost from 16 up to 20. We don't have any armor to give him. We have no devices to give him, but let's do that. Now, when we go to our town, we can create the Colonial Trooper, and he's got that little flame icon there. So we can start him up for the next thing too. And as far as research goes, mineral refining, automated minerals, sounds awesome. Let's get that. Or we could do the colony ship dismantling, which just gives us a bonus of minerals and food. But I like the automatic type stuff. Order units. I'd like these two to be walking on top of each other, but it's fine. Alright, so we got -1 morale from population, or pollution, excuse me. Pollution happens when you use mining. Miners cause pollution. -1 from territories. Forests reduce, see this right here gives us, this is our territory. Forests reduce pollution by 1, just automatically, no matter what, without being worked. But this miner is causing pollution. See where it says plus 0.6 from miners, plus 0.8 from workers, plus 0.2 from scientists. They're all causing some pollution, just being here. So, you know, it is what it is. Perhaps we can just go and lower taxes just slightly to keep 0 morale. And we're only 2 turns behind the cultivation facility now. I'm going to keep this guy back because I'm going to refit him. We found some Xenomorph drones, and Xenomorph drones, same thing as what we are. This is fungus. Fungus causes pollution. It can be mined. This is got one mineral, 1 pollution. If we go in it, our units will suffer damage when they start the turn. But that's fine. And actually, these guys don't because they're biological. They're basically the same thing as the native population. But regular units would suffer. Now, unlike Civ 5, you can traverse mountains. It's just that mountains cost more movement, so you can just go up these mountains and kind of pass right through them. So I want you to go home. Discovered some hot springs. +4 morale. Sweet, dude. We should probably go ahead and build a city there then. How's Smuts doing? Smuts produced a cultivation facility. Now we have this cultivation facility which provides just 2 base food and plus 25% food from farmers. So if we were to put one of our scientists, for example, on farm duty, we're going to gain quite a bit more food than before. But it also kind of frees up frees up your guy from having to do that. Let's see. We want another colonial trooper, probably. Can't really afford to have 2 workers. But we're only 1 turn from having an extra person, so that's good. Victory chance 90%, lots of casualties. Not really good combat. We'll keep exploring with this unit. And we've met our neighbor. Now, the diplomacy interface is kind of strange. Everything is text-based. You have to... It's not just like offer research pact, and then it'll say dialogue at the top. It's mixed all in, and it's kind of a little bit more immersive. So far, generally what I do is just go with Gaia. Just go away. Leave me alone. So here's his city. He's got a former out already. Looks like he's built a mine there, Going pretty heavy production. Natural plantation discovered. +2. Cool. Smuts has grown. Yay! Let's get him off farm duty, and let's go with an extra miner and an extra worker. I really want to get production going. And we'll go back to economy, and then reduce taxes just enough to break even on morale. We're still accumulating credits, which we could use to buy something out at some point, but for now I think it's just a good idea to have extra credits available. Alright, so this unit, right, I sent it home for 2 reasons. One, because having a unit in your city can defend it, but also want to use this refit button. Change unit design. Unit has to be stationed in the city controlled by its player. So it does cost money, but we can upgrade him to have the flamethrower. And it's probably not a good idea, but let's just do it anyway. Because now he's got a flamethrower and he's stronger. Now he's good at killing biological units, which are these things. So they're very efficient versus this now. So let's go ahead and prepare for that. Observatory. And there's a Galith. There's a Galith in the observatory, just standing. He's pathing right through it. It's amazing. Alright, so I was thinking, yeah, we've got 4 more turns till Smuts grows again. Overall doing pretty fine here. Not making much research. Working on mineral refining. 1 more turn, we'll have that new tech. And 1 more turn, we'll have another colonial trooper. Perfect timing. So I think in Smuts now, we'll make the refining array. So we get extra minerals per turn automatically. And we get more minerals from miners. That's fine. And I'm going to just probably want to... Automated recycling. More -4 pollution. Sounds pretty good. Might make sense to pick up a device. Plus 25% power when defending. We could pick up more weapons. Yeah, there's our first little bit of armor. Let's try to work our way towards that. We'll pick up Rigorous Regiment. Now, unlike Civ 5, kind of frustrating, you can't shift Q science paths. So you got to do it one at a time, try to remember where you were at. But I do want the reinforced steel plates, so I want to put those on my guys. And I thought I ended the turn, did I not? No, I do want to end the turn this turn, because I want to keep these 2 stacked up on top of each other. So let's go ahead and just skip for this turn. Alright, so now we can actually select 2 units at once and command them to travel together, like so. And we'll pull this unit back as well. We're going to try to take on the Hive. We'll probably fail miserably. What's our little former working on? What you doing, buddy? You building a mine? He's probably going to build a mine. Is that what you're doing? Oh, he is. Look at that. Right, so... so we've got 2 units, right? Total combined power is 5. That's that 5.0. These guys have total combined power of 7. So when we're looking at like group combat here, it's actually taking just the 1 colonial trooper versus the top unit, the queen. Or it's actually not even the top unit, but victory chance is 0%. Estimated casualties 69. So we'd actually kill half, like 69% of the queen. Queen's quite strong, so these little guys aren't going to be able to do it. We can explore and, I don't know, try to find some bad guy to beat up. We'll take on that guy. Fail miserably. Oh, so we found us. It didn't actually auto attack him, but we don't want to fight him either. Smuts has grown again. Now you can just double click a tile to select everything, or you can click and then shift click to add to the queue. We could go pick on our neighbor. I'm sure we'd fail miserably. Smuts is still working on the refining array. And we did just gain pop, and I didn't actually check the assignment of it. It seems to tend to want to put him on farming, but farming we're doing pretty well, fine on, so... I'd probably want to have... a scientist at this point, really. Alright, so now these guys were very efficient verse. We'd only lose 20%, and it's because we have the Hellfire. Apparently being in the mountains is giving us plus 25% combat strength as well. Terra Salvum is the negative effect of having the weapon, right? That was the Hellfire thing. Minus... Oh wait, no, Terra Salvum, what's that? Oh, that's our class thing. Compendium... Factions... Terra Salvum. Minus 25% attack power when attacking. So we're just not very good at offense, but that's fine. So, but the mountains bonus kind of offsets it, and they've got needles and fungus helping them out, but we're overall stronger, so. Burn you to death. Fire. And yeah, new device discovered. Xenomorph Pheropod. Oh, interesting. Looks like we just got that from killing him. So only one of our units actually attacked there. He's down to 24% strength. The other one is just fine. This guy did rank up to level 2, which increased his overall power. His power's at 0.7 though, because he's really damaged, right? So 24% of your overall maximum takes you down to about 24% of your actual combat strength. So he needs to go home and heal. And the other one can escort him as well. It's fine with me. So, as you can see, this is it's a grand strategy, turn-based 4X game. It can take hours and hours and hours and hours to play, just like Civ 5 or Civ 4 or Endless Space or any of the other types. So this is just my first impressions of it. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. Not 100% convinced that I'm going to do a Let's Play of it, but I think that it's pretty cool. I believe it's on sale right now. The publisher was Slitherine, and I think they're selling the game for like $35 right now. So it's not available on Steam, which I think is a point against it. You've got to download their own platform, which kind of, I don't like that, but it is what it is. So if you're a big fan of Alpha Centauri, I think you'll like this game. If you're a big fan of 4X games, you'll probably like this game. And yeah, so it just came out recently. I don't think that there's been any major patches, but the few minor things that we would like to have change, I think we'll get it patched in at some point. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the video and share it with somebody if you'd like. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.